Welcome to Craig's Gun Channel. In today's video, we're going to take a look at the magazine release on the Ruger LCP Max. In this case, we're going to take a look in particular how you swap it from the right-handed configuration to left-hand configuration. This process is relatively simple, and you only really need a small tipped screwdriver to both remove the slide and also to disengage the spring on the inside. Some special tools could be helpful, sort of like a little like a pick or a probe type thing. I've got this little thing here that I use. It's not necessary. You can do the entire thing with a small screwdriver. So we'll go ahead and take a look and see how exactly this is done. And of course, the first step before working on any firearm is to make sure it is free and clear of all ammunition. So we'll go ahead and first remove the magazine. The magazine release on the Ruger LCP Max is right here. Go ahead and push in on that, and the magazine comes out. You can see the magazine is free and clear. Open up the slide. We can see the chamber area is also free and clear, and there's no ammunition inside. So first step, we'll go ahead and remove the slide. The slide is retained with this little pin right here, and you simply basically pry up on that. So just pull the slide back just a tiny bit to take any tension off, and just a small flat blade screwdriver just to pop off the retaining spring, and then the pin lifts right out, and then the slide will come off the front. At this point, we have access from both the top and the bottom into the magazine well. And on the inside, and I know it's going to be kind of hard to see, there's a little spring, and it's a little vertical spring that sits in there, and essentially, and it's right around in there. And let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit. What you're going to do is get something that you can pry up under here. I use this little tool here. I want to get something in there where you can kind of get it behind that spring. You want to be able to pry out on it. And then once it releases, the magazine catch itself comes out. Actually, let me show you that real quick. That spring itself fits in there at that pocket, and it'll just fall out. When it's installed, that's what holds it in place. This is what the spring looks like. And to put it in place, just that little, like a track, lack of a better way to put it, right in here. It goes right down in that pocket right there. So if it falls out, don't worry about it. That's fine. So basically, you'll just drop it in place, and then just push it down. So it goes down. There's just a little hole down there it goes into, just like that. Okay, if you notice, get the light so it's just right here. There's just a little bit of a shoulder right there. And that shoulder will engage on the magazine release. There's a little shoulder on the back of it. And basically what happens is when you put it in, you'll always put it in opposite the direction that you're wanting to push. So the little checkered, or the part with the grooved lines, that will be the side where you push, and you put it in the opposite direction. So it was in like this, so the magazine release was on this side, so that would have been down in that hole there. But we want to swap it around so that it's over on this side. So you'll approach it from this side here. So the little checkered part, you'll push in. And the other thing, that spring, which you can see it in there. So just a little straight vertical spring. When you stick this in, you'll want to kind of turn it like this so that the flat side right here will kind of go behind that spring. And then kind of push it forward and see if I can get a visual of this. And you'll kind of catch it and turn it. And then you can push it all the way through. Now if you look inside, that spring is now sitting on top of that flat part of the magazine release. It goes back and forth like that. So now what you want to do is maneuver that spring, which you can see it right there. You want to maneuver that spring so that it goes into the notch right there. Let's see if I can, this is hard to do with trying to get it on camera with enough light to where you can see it. So you want to catch that. And push it forward like that. And then once it's in that notch, then that captures it. So it's in place. So now we've swapped the magazine release to the other side. As you can see here, you go ahead and test it out. The magazine stays in there. Push the button and it'll come out. And it's all installed. So now you just reassemble the pistol. And so you simply line up the rails, put the pin in. Now if you see that little spring right there, you'll tilt the pin a little bit like so to get it behind that spring, and then push in like that. And when you push the spring in, that little shoulder right here is what that spring locks into. And then go ahead and make sure it all works. And we're all reassembled with our magazine catch on the other side. Hopefully this information was of value to you. I apologize for some of the strange camera angles. Being able to show on video and me be able to see at the same time what I'm doing is always a little bit of a challenge, so hopefully the camera angles weren't too bad on there. So hopefully this information is of value if you're going to make this change yourself, and hopefully you found it valuable. I appreciate your comments and feedback, so any questions or comments you have, please let me know. And if you like this type of content, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell. Also, as some of you might not be aware, sometimes people get unsubscribed, so if you have subscribed in the past, you might want to check to make sure that you are still subscribed. I would appreciate that. And as always, until next week, stay safe.